for checking out this podcast today. We're going to talk about perspectives on playing and improvising and some practical things that we can do to consider note choices and rhythms and maybe sequences. So in the past few weeks, I've put out several blues type tunes. Some have included standard blues, Charlie Parker type blues progressions, and further back we've talked about minor blues, Mr. PC, and I've done other tunes like Equinox. But more recently, we have Blues for Ellis by Charlie Parker, Sunny Moon for Two by Sonny Rollins, and Freddie Freeloader by Miles Davis. So when we're playing on a blues like Blues for Alice, I'm going to outline a lot of the changes for that because it really, in a sense, asks us to do that when we are playing with the harmony there. So right, so we're kind of riding the wave of, or in that current of the harmony where things are moving. We have 2/5s and 5/1s and that type of thing. When we're playing on a standard blues progression, like on Sunny Moon for Two, right? There we have what we might call more static dominance, where we're just hanging on. Just as a little kind of excerpt of the tune and the form there. We're playing on that and we're not necessarily moving to any particular place. It's not functional type dominant resolution. We're just kind of hanging on that. It's a static chord and we want to be aware of the chord scales, the consonances, and the dissonances. Now this week I'm coming out with a new video on So What by Miles Davis, and that tune is considered a modal type tune, and the harmony is, rather static for at least long stretches of time. So we're going to have something like a D minor, right? And we're working within that. So it's a great opportunity to really get into the sound of D minor 7, the sound of the Dorian mode. So as we're performing or playing or practicing, is the line that we're playing functioning to outline a tonality or do a 5/1 or even a secondary dominant, or is it 2/5 kind of motion? Or are we working with a static chord and playing maybe a palette of tones? And some tunes may even have a mixture of these elements where there's certain functional type things that are happening, like a 5 or 2/5, let's say, or a 5/1 of some type. In that case, I played A minor 7 to D7. Then I played D7 flat 9 to G minor 6. Now, whether we're working with functional type harmony or a modal type approach, we need to be aware of chord scales. We need to be aware of how the individual note that we play interacts with the harmony at a given moment. So playing on a modal tune really gives us the chance to spend a lot of time with the harmony and get accustomed to that sound. So that's a little practice tip that you can take with you, is whether you're looking at a tune that has some functional harmony or sort of more of a modal approach, place that chord into iReal Pro or Band in a Box and let that repeat for a while and really get into the sound of that harmony and play notes that make sense for that chord based on the chord scale. So if we have a 5 chord and it's going to G minor 6, we can explore different approaches to that, right? We could play something that's kind of altered scale harmony, or play something that's a little more Phrygian dominant, and become accustomed to being able to play on the spot with however you want to kind of work with that particular sound. Now, at the beginning of this podcast, I was playing on a C minor. Okay, and this is a little bit of a backing track that I created for the website and a sound slice exercise. So when we're playing that, we're getting into the sound of C minor and C Dorian. Okay, and we're exploring the sound of that and really trying to observe as we're playing, even, or doing an exercise or doing a drill or practicing, really trying to have this awareness of how does this note interact with the chord. Also observe that when you're playing straight on a beat and you play a chord tone, it's going to sound very consonant with the chord. If you play a tone that's outside of it, it's going to sound dissonant on the chord. And there are varying degrees of that. But we can use all of that to create tension and to create lines that are interesting, and we can kind of mix that up. But for practice, see if you can work with that a little bit, where you might say, okay, chord tone on a strung beat, non-chord tone, but still in the chord scale on a weak beat. So like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All right, folks, so there are a couple tips and perspectives to keep in mind. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Watch the video podcast edition of this. Click the link in the description. Enter your email address and you can watch it. And then as a bonus, you'll receive weekly lessons right to your inbox, as well as live stream invites. Also, members of the YouTube channel, Substack, and the website all receive video versions of this as well. So while you're out and about, listen to it, use it as ear training, maybe some inspiration, some ideas. And then when you're back home, maybe check it out on the video. All right, everybody. Thanks again for listening, and I'll talk to you all in the next one.